What's your darkest secret? I occasionally pay hot girls to beat me up. Went to a strip club one night unwilling I add. It was my second time at one of these establishments also. It was a few days before payday. I was almost broke. Went with a bunch of people I didn't know. Girls coming and going, giving me a table dance and flirting hard. The more I drank the more turned on I was. One girl come up and say $50 gets you in the back with me. I go in the back and she instantly takes my pants off, throws a condom on me, and we're having sex. After everything is said and done she asked for more money, not saying anything about her charge before the fact. Next thing I know I'm in a chair in the main room with two bouncers and the manager saying they're gonna break both my arms and throw me in jail if I didn't get $300 now. Out of all people I call my boss at the time. He shows up, pays the girl, everything is settled, and he ends up getting a dance. Very few people know this. I've yet to go back to another strip club nor want to. I was 21 at the time it happened. Just days before my 22nd b-day. Throwaway cause obvious. I was addicted to cam girls for a few years and spent over $100k on them. I have been a heavy porn user since early teens. I'm mid-30s now. I know there is argument over if porn addiction is real, but if it is I'm an addict. I've always been a little awkward and have never been in a serious relationship, and when I discovered cam girls I just loved the feeling I got when we interacted. There was one girl I kind of fell for and it all went south from there and got really complicated. I was never under the impression that the relationship was anything more than it was, but it was just hard. By the time I got to about $40k in credit card debt with no clear way to pay it I broke down and told my parents I had a debt problem, but did not tell them exactly what it came from. We made an agreement and they paid it off. Did I stop? Nope. By the time I racked up another $40k I had gotten another job with a new company and cashed out my $401k to pay it off. Did I stop this time? Nope still. It took going another $30k in debt and one of the girls I followed leaving the platform for me to mostly stop. I have to keep myself away from things like OnlyFans since I can see myself going down the same rabbit hole. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I wish I could fix it. I also drink way too much, which probably feeds into it. I constantly think about ending my life to get away from my problems, but I will more likely succumb to untreated high blood pressure or something, since I don't take care of myself. My diaper fetish. Not nearly as dark as it used to be. I've opened up to a few close friends and talk about it pretty openly here on the internet, but I repressed it for like all my life. And after repression came a few years of shame, and now I'm finally fighting. That turns out it feels good to let the things that make you happy. I guess I need a new darkest secret. I'm B and I have no idea how to tell my parents. I'm an attention seeker. Almost everything I say is to get attention because I'm so painfully lonely. I don't start drama or anything, but I purposefully divulge particularly strange things about myself to people to get a reaction. Sometimes I scratch my nuts and smell my fingers after. Was very little, probably around 3 to 4. I used to play a game with my parents where I'd go to the bathroom and brush my teeth before bed, and when I got to my room they'd pretend to be asleep and I'd find creative ways to wake them up. Being so young, I thought my dad was superhero style indestructible and in thinking, so I decided to try something that would hurt a kid like me but wouldn't harm him at all since he was big. I found a pencil laying on the desk and tried to stab him in the eye with it. Luckily, he was peeking and stopped me just before I did it. To this day it gives me a sinking feeling in my stomach thinking about what might have happened. TL. Doctor, I almost stabbed my dad in the eye with a pencil while he was pretending to be asleep. Using a throwaway for this. I'm pretty sure I'm a sociopath. I have not been officially diagnosed by a professional, but I'm almost certain of it. Whenever I interact with people, I develop a character that I play. My whole personality is designed to be liked and to fit in. I gain people's trust, even though it's all an act. My goal isn't to gain trust, so I can use it against them, but I always store things about them in the back of my head in case I ever do have to use it against them in the future. I don't think I've ever hurt anyone with this, but I always make sure it's an option if I feel like I need to. Almost every emotion of mine is an act. I really don't care about people's problems, but I will respond in a way that I feel they would like, just so I can get closer to them. Now, just to be clear, I say almost every emotion is an act, because I definitely feel real love for my wife and kids and that will never change. But socially, I'm completely fake. Everywhere I go, I'm well liked, and people always come to me to talk about things. That might sound like a total brag, but it's not the real me. I was born and raised in a place that has high suicide rates and a lot of traffic related deaths due to dark and icy conditions, so growing up, I've lost a handful of friends. Not a single death has affected me. The only things to ever make me cry are movies and music. For some reason, those make me feel the most emotion, which has led to a major obsession with them. I've always wanted to talk about this, but I never knew where to go, mainly because I don't want my cover to be blown. It feels weird as shit being like this. All I want is to experience a real social encounter that's actually me feeling connected to friends. I don't like spending time with my family. Most of us don't, I guess. Well, I'm 1300 kilometers away from my family and meet them twice a year. I would give anything to meet my family, but I respect your opinion.